Hey folks, Rob Franek, Editor-in-Chief here at the Prince Review. Thanks as always for tuning in for yet another segment of our SAT-ACT strategy series, wherein we actively help you expand your personal knowledge of standardized tests to help you prepare to crush the SAT and ACT come test day. Friends, today's segment is all about pacing on the SAT and ACT. And folks, the first thing that you should think about when preparing for a test isn't subject matter knowledge or strategies for individual questions. Instead, the thing to focus on is an overall strategy for the entire test. And the holy grail of all testing strategies is knowing how to pace yourself. Now, if you're like one of our typical students at the Princeton Review, I strongly suspect that you may think that you're the worst at pacing yourself during tests. And that's because, my friends, everybody thinks that they're terrible at pacing because you're human and because standardized tests are stressful. And again, if you're like most of our students here at the Princeton Review, you'll likely approach your test like a rabbit. Our rabbit, in our example, sees 58 questions on the SAT math section and needs to charge ahead and to do each and every one of those 58 questions, racing through to answer all the way to the last one of them. But my friends, that instinct, while admirable, causes lots of issues, none of them good. Here's why. Our rabbit will undoubtedly make mistakes that are normally avoidable, resulting in them getting plenty of questions wrong. In fact, our rabbit is a doppelganger for the average math student. That same rabbit is only going to get 26 of the 58 questions correct on average. Now, that will translate into 540 on the SAT math section, which means that our rabbit is scoring right at the 50th percentile of all test takers. So, and I bet you know where I'm going to go with this, folks. Instead of acting like a rabbit, acting like a turtle is far more enlightened. Now, our turtle is also a stand-in for the average math student, but our turtle knows its inherent strength. So our turtle is only going to do the questions it's most comfortable with. So, for the sake of today's segment, let's say that our turtle answers just 38 of the total 58 SAT math questions. Now, let's be clear. This doesn't mean that our turtle gets all of the 38 questions right. Turtles are fallible just like rabbits. Hence, they can and they will make mistakes. But let's say that our turtle only gets 30 of the 38 questions right, which would equal a 580 on the SAT math section. But the turtle, channeling all of its testing strategy know-how, decides to guess on the remaining 20 questions, meaning that our turtle probably will get 4 or 5 more questions correct completely on guesses. And that, my friends, translates into a 610 instead of a measly 580 on the math section of the SAT. And let's remember together, folks, that neither the SAT nor the ACT have a guessing penalty, meaning that test makers and ultimately test scorers count blank answers the same as incorrect answers, meaning they're both wrong, which means that you should never leave any answers blank. You need to always put down an answer for every question. We recommend a super easy strategy. Pick a letter of the day and don't deviate. Don't waste a speck of your brain power on figuring out which letter to guess on. Friends, by just understanding the proper pacing for the test, our enlightened turtle can gain a whopping 70 points over our rabbit stand-in, even though they are nearly identical average math students. Go Turtles! Folks, I'm hoping, as always, that you found this segment just as enjoyable as we did making it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe to our channel, where we do lots of different segments, regular segments on study tips and live streams and admissions advice and exam updates and much more. Rob Franek, Editor-in-Chief here at the Princeton Review, signing off for today. Be well.